Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers have more information about the seller and the business to help them make a buying decision. Before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of this business. It is an Amazon FBA business created in January 2020 in the beauty and home niches. The average monthly revenue for the business is $36,987 and makes an average of $7,686 per month in net profit. The assets included in the sale are an Amazon Seller Central account with 43 SKUs, domain and all site content and files, trademark, supplier contracts and relationships, Facebook account, and as a disclaimer, inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to active buyers. And another disclaimer, buyers should have an active VAT number in all UK and EU countries where the business has inventory stored before the transfer can finalize, and it's highly recommended to begin the VAT registration process as soon as possible. So for everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 56197 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So that's a brief overview of the business for sale. Let's hear from the seller with me today. So welcome to the show, Faisal. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Nick. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Well, I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and your business. So to start us off, can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Well, honestly, Nick, it's a good question. I never had any experience in building online business. This is my first business I built, So before that, in October 2019, my brother, he called me, he said, well, there's a company named Amazon and they sell online stuff, okay. I said, I heard about Amazon, but I never used that, before. So, and he said, we should start selling on it. And he knew something he heard from his friends, and he contacted me. And then I was not very interested at that time. I was busy with my work, and COVID didn't start at that time. So busy with our life, normal life. And then he said, let's do this. So I made my first purchase in November 2019 from Amazon as a customer to see what Amazon is. And I really liked the experience and the customer focus of Amazon, and the next day delivery and returns with no question asked. Sometimes they don't ask for the returns as well. The seller don't ask for returns, So it was a very pain-free process, as a customer. So I really liked it. And then we thought, okay, we should give it a try, and then we started research about Amazon, what is FBA, what is FBM, those basic things, because someone like me who never used online, purchased anything online.
Yeah.
That sounds quite backward, but that is a fact. So then, unfortunately, in December, COVID started. So I started working from home, and then I had vacation time, which I couldn't go anywhere. So we just thought we should use that time in building this business. And in January 2020, first time we registered a company, and there we are, that's how it started. And initially we started in Canada, but then later we decided to move to the UK. This is a brief background,
Yeah, that was great to hear. And I know before we started, I had to clarify with you that this is your first time actually using Amazon.com in general, even as a customer, which is pretty impressive to go from not even knowing about Amazon. And usually sellers will have had some experience on the consumer side before moving on to the seller side. So that's pretty incredible to hear that you went from not knowing anything about Amazon, even as a customer, to then deciding just before the pandemic, which I guess you didn't know about at the time, to get into the Amazon space as a seller. And then right at the start of the pandemic, you started selling on Amazon.
Yep.
And if you are able to talk about this, how did you go about, or why did you choose this specific niche over others?
There are a number of reasons, as I said, I had no experience, and it's a painful process, Nick, don't remind me of that again. So Like we were doing all the research, like how we are going, the first step, like what we have to do. We watched a lot of YouTube videos, how to do a product search and then product hunting and then, sourcing of product. And the niche we selected is based on, and then I learned also, how to use other softwares, like Helium and Jungle Scout. I'm not an IT guy. So I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Like I spent like initially when I was on my vacation time from work, I spent like 12 to 16 hours, watching videos, learning about the niches and, and the product hunting. So that's how it started. And we decided that at that time to keep it simple and straightforward, to sell any product on Amazon that we are able to sell it. And also we can make money off it, So that was simple. And then kitchen and like the niche we have is, as you mentioned before, it was an easy one because these are day-to-day item and these are like a recurring item that customer will buy it, every day, irrespective of COVID or no COVID, These are recurring item, like in every home needs these item, So that was first thing. And of course, there's no perfect product. There's competition, but we thought we will be able to like base our product research and where can we buy these product from. And keep in mind, we have limited budget at that time, like we didn't have unlimited budget. So that's how we selected the niche, based on the demand of the product and see how it works. So, and how can we source it, So this is the reason. The simple thing is like initially we thought we will sell anything that is legal, anything that we can make money out of it.
Got it. And I'm looking at your P&L right now, and it seems like you've had some really great growth and a great run pretty much since beginning the business. So why now are you deciding to sell this business?
Again, as I said, like I did a lot of research on Amazon before, and I keep doing it. This is my hobby, I would say, like researching about new things, new products. So I was discussing with my brother, like who is my partner. Like I'm the owner of the company, but he's a partner as well because he's the one who motivated me, to go into this business. What we figured out is where is the highest risk in this business? The highest risk is at the start of the business when one establishes a business. There's a high risk there that a business can fail there, And we went through the process successfully. Like we mitigated all those risks based on our, research, our efforts, and now we are at the next stage of growing. Now the only thing is we have to do is to keep growing it. So we went through that painful process of establishing a business, going for all those, meeting all those legal requirements of UK and the Europe, and Canada. So we just thought this is be an opportunity for us, to establish a business in different niches and then sell it to the buyer, like who don't want to go through that painful process, where there's a high risk of failure. And to mitigate those risks for the buyer, this is a good market for us,
Yep. So you're past that risk phase and now it's at a good level. So why are you deciding to sell now as opposed to continuing to grow it and build it up further?
I think the business because it's the personality as well, like because the personality I have is we like challenges.
Oh, I see. So you're past that initial phase and that's the phase that you liked.
Yeah, that's the phase. It was very challenging, like very stressful, challenging. And now the only thing we do is we do a research, find a product. We say, okay, that's good. We try it. And if it sells good, we sell it. This is what we are doing right now, honestly.
Got it. So this was always kind of the exit plan to get through that phase and build it up to a point where it can be sold. Okay.
Yeah, again, it's a challenge. As I said, when I was doing my research on Amazon, I figured out, I think it's like 70% or maybe more than that. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. So they failed, like at the initial stage, because people think that Amazon is like a lottery, where you just invest money and you will double it in a month or two kind of thing, It's a very painful process, at the beginning. It's a high risk process and there's a high risk of failure at the beginning. If you're unable to find the right product and invest in the wrong product and you fail to optimize your listing, and you can't rank your listing, these are big challenges at the start of the business.
That's actually a good point. And I was going to ask, and you're kind of answering this already, which is through going through this process, what did you learn from building this that seemed to work well?
Well, it's consistency, determination, patience. That's what we need, to build this business. And hard work is there, of course, like initially. Like right now, I spend only I would say like maximum 5 hours a week. Initially I was spending like 12 hours a day on this business. So like 12 hours to 5 hours. So I would like to see for more challenges, like where we can help other buyers, or other sellers, where they don't want to take the risk. Like we are here, to give them a growing business, so where they have to add only products. Even if they don't add any product, they will get this revenue, like of $7,000 at this time. So
Yep. And was there anything that you tried with this business that didn't work that you tried out?
yeah, initially, of course, like when there were a lot of failures, like when we started, and at one point we thought, well, it's not our thing, it's not my thing because I'm in mid 40s, and like this is always considered business for young guys, like in 20s or early 20s or maybe late 20s. So when we launched few products, we failed. We learned from our mistakes, like what mistakes we did. It was not all good process. There was a lot of failure, a lot of learning initially, and we learned like how to launch a product and how to get organic reviews, how to rank it. That was very difficult and painful process, but now I learned, it's like I'm very comfortable with that. So initially, like let me give you an example. Like initially it took me like sometime day and a half to develop a listing, to write a listing, and now it takes few hours. So yeah.
Yeah. So going from 12 hours per day to 5 hours a week, what would you say now that you've gotten past that huge amount of, I guess, the time commitment? What do you do with those 5 hours per week in terms of how do you maintain the business?
If I don't do anything, like if I'm not launching a new product with the existing inventory, I just to keep an eye on my inventory. Like that's I have an app on my phone, and I just keep an eye on the inventory, and I print labels, send it to my brother, like who is in the UK, and what he does, he just print that labels and apply it on the product and send it to Amazon, and sourcing. That's what we do. We already have suppliers, and supplier, like finding a right supplier, that was a huge challenge. Like finding a reliable supplier, that was the challenge, that faced initially. We couldn't find a reasonable supplier, like who you trust. That's what we are doing. If we don't have inventory, just email to the supplier, they send the inventory, we pay to them, they send inventory to our warehouse where we receive, we do a quality check. Like it doesn't take too much time. We have the same product we are selling, so it takes, I would say, 5 hours. I said more, like it's I would say take less than 5 hours. Like printing labels and sending shipping labels, it's not too much work for me at this time. So it's kind of a passive income at this time.
Okay. So if a new owner came on board, what are the skills that they would need to know? I'm hearing printing labels, inventory management.
They don't need any skills. It's very straightforward. Like Amazon videos are there on YouTube to help them. And also will also help them. Like it's only printing shipping labels, sending it to the 3PL, like whoever their 3PL supplier is. They will fix labels on their products. They have to, if they buy inventory, there'll be a list of suppliers. They'll send email to the suppliers who will send inventory to the warehouse, and they just have to pay to the suppliers. It's just like there's no skills, I would say, needed. It's just common sense. That's what they need.
Okay. And if you were to keep the business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
It's very easy now because we went through a difficult stage that was earlier. The only thing we can do is add more products, and maybe we may go and explore more markets, like Germany or France, in Europe. So if we decided to go and to take that path, it's easy. Like we have to apply for the VAT, which Amazon provide that services, a VAT service, by Amazon, and we have to apply for a brand again, which is super easy now. We know how to do that. And first time we hire a lawyer, which was very expensive. Now Amazon also helped with that, but we don't need even Amazon help with that. So we can do it by ourselves, and we'll just expand it to other countries, with the same products. And we don't need to recreate this product, just the same essence. Like we can use it on other marketplaces. So
Okay, so at this stage in the business, what would you say are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
the biggest risk is, again, it's Amazon policies. So they have to comply with the Amazon policy. That's the biggest risk at this point in time. If they are complying with Amazon policies, then I don't think so there is any risk.
Okay. And last few questions here. How much support are you willing to offer buyers?
I'm more than happy to support the new buyer, like what the requirements if buyer need. I'm also ready, to go an extra mile with a buyer. If they have any questions, like if they want to learn any skill from me, and like I will help the buyer with the suppliers, like introduce them with the suppliers, and they want some, Skype calls or video calls or Zoom calls. So I'm more than happy to help them.
Okay, great. And would you commit to a non-compete?
Yeah, I do, because definitely the same. Because again, as I said, like the personality I have is I like challenges. So definitely I won't go in the same niche again, So I will look for other niches. And one more thing, like when we developed this business, we never thought that we will sell it. So we developed this business in such a way that we keep developing it, keep growing it. That was the idea. So like right now, the average income is $7,500 per month. So we planning to make it double, by the end of, by the next 6 to 12 months, that's what we are targeting. So this business is built to grow and grow and grow.
Okay, great. That might be a question I'll ask later. So, next question here. Are you open to something like an earnout for this deal?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it depends on the offer. Like we are open to any reasonable offer. So it depends on the offer. Like if it's a reasonable offer, then why not? And again, I would take like Empire Flippers, same advice on it, because this is why we hide, like we partner with Empire Flipper.
Okay, great. And this is going back to now what you were just saying about, I guess, your trajectory or your plans for where this business could go. My next question is putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer. Why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Well, as I said before, like the biggest risk is like if I am a buyer and I am a worse kind of a buyer, I don't want to take a risk with a business where there's a high risk of failure. And I will prefer to invest in a business which is already established, which is already growing, and I'm happy with the products that the seller is selling, like I know it's a day-to-day product and everyone needs that product irrespective of COVID or no COVID. So that's what I would see, and I would see the risk. Risk is the main factor, like what's the risk there? So it's a risk and reward. I think it's less risk and high reward, as a buyer. That's what I would see.
Okay, well, that's a great answer. So, is there anything else that you'd like to add that you think I might have missed during the interview?
No, I think we're okay. But yeah, as I said, like this business is built to grow only, and sky is the limit for this business. That's what I would say. And one thing I would like to add here, like if you see the marketing, like for this business, we have never used any marketing tools, like Facebook, email listing. We just focus on keywords because we don't have time, for such things. And this will save the buyer time as well, like they don't have to send emails or, going through all those process. And like I heard about, from different Amazon experts, like they do bleeding or, stuff. So we never did this, and I don't think we need this. And we used PPC to the minimum level. So our cost is really at the low end. That's the plus point in the way we develop this business. So we don't need too much PPC. Like this month, I would say we spent on PPC around £50 maybe for one other product, and it is ranked. And now I think we have to order more inventory for that product. So the way the listings are created, I don't know if Nick, if you've seen those listings, like our top products, like most of our products are 4-star plus reviews and ranking. So yeah, that's what I would see as well as a buyer. Like the demand of the product, the ranks of the product, the reviews of the products, like it's all there. So it's a hard work. Like initially, that's what we did. We went through that difficult phase. Now it's only it's a passive income kind of thing. So
Just growing from here.
just growing from here. Like, yeah.
Well, everything you listed seems like it's promising that the business is performing without requiring some of those normal growth channels, such as a lot of PPC or other like email marketing. But it also seems like an opportunity for growth for the right buyer. So yeah, that's perfect. Well, I think on that note, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up. So Faisal, thank you so much for sharing your story and joining us on today's episode. And I do hope your business is purchased in the near future by the right buyer.
Thank you so much, Nick. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Well, thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 56197. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.